So today there's serious tension and plenty of talk around Abuja. People woke up to see videos and reports flying around showing that officers of the Department of State Services, the DSS, and some supporters of Nnamdi Kanu had a clash right outside the Federal High Court. Now, this whole matter started because Kanu's case, which has been dragging for years, reached another very critical point. The court fixed a new date for judgment, and that brought emotions back to the surface. You see, whenever Kanu's case comes up, emotions always rise. He's the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, a group that has been in the news for years because of their push for an independent Biafran state. The government banned the group and labeled it as a terrorist organization, but many of his supporters still see him as a hero, a man who spoke up for them when no one else did. So, when his trial days come up, people gather outside the court to show support, to pray, to shout encouragement. And that's exactly what happened again this week. But this time, it didn't end peacefully. DSS officers were stationed all around the court premises, maintaining security as usual. They tried to control the crowd because the court area was already jam-packed. According to eyewitnesses, as soon as the crowd began to grow larger, the security men became stricter. They started pushing people back, asking them to move away from restricted zones. Then, at some point, words were exchanged, emotions took over, and before you knew it, there was chaos. Shouting, pushing, and confusion everywhere. Now guys, if you're watching this, please take 1 second, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're bringing you verified and calm updates so you understand what's really going on. Back to the story. While the clash was happening outside, inside the courtroom, there was also plenty of tension. The judge, Justice James Omotosho, had warned earlier that if Kanu refused to open his defense, the court would go ahead with judgment based on the evidence already before it. But Kanu's lawyers argued that the laws being used to charge him are invalid and that the government hasn't respected his rights properly. So, while they were inside arguing those points, his supporters outside were saying the leader was not getting fair treatment, that he should be released, and that the trial has dragged on too long. When the DSS officers saw the crowd getting restless, they began to move more forcefully, trying to disperse people. Some of the supporters didn't take it well. That's when some pushing and shouting started. People started recording on their phones, posting clips online. You know how it goes. Before long, videos started trending on social media, showing the scuffle, and everyone began to give their own version of what happened. Now, to be honest, in situations like these, it's always important to stay calm and avoid spreading unverified stories. Some of the videos online may show just a small part of the event, maybe just the shouting part or the moment when officers were pushing back, but they don't show the full picture. Still, what's clear is that there was real tension, and it's another sign of how emotional and sensitive this case has become. Please, again, if you're watching, like this video right now. It really helps us reach more people who want balanced updates without bias. Subscribe too, so you'll be the first to hear what happens next in this case. Now, let's talk about why this matter gets so heated every single time. The case of Nnamdi Kanu isn't just a legal case, it's also emotional and political. To his supporters, Kanu represents freedom of speech and self-determination. To the government, he represents a national security threat, someone whose words have the power to cause unrest. That's why the courtroom becomes a battle of ideas every time. It's not just law versus defense, it's ideology versus authority. And when these two clash, the street feels it. You have to understand, some of these supporters travel from far places, from Enugu, Imo, even Anambra, just to be present outside the court. They come believing that their presence might make a difference. Some come carrying banners, others come singing, praying, or chanting. But when a large crowd like that meets heavy security, small misunderstandings can quickly turn into shouting matches. That's exactly what we saw. There are also reports that Kanu's family members and lawyers have complained that the DSS has been making things difficult for them. They said the DSS sometimes delays their access to him and sometimes even restricts his personal items or communication. The DSS, on their own part, say they're only following procedures to maintain national security. Now, as all this was happening, the court set November 20th as the date for judgment. That date alone created another wave of reactions online. Some people started posting that justice is finally coming, while others said they don't trust the system. Everyone's talking. Everyone's emotional. Please, while you're still watching, don't forget, give this video a like and subscribe right now. We're taking our time to explain this story so that everyone can understand without confusion or panic. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Why does this matter so much to Nigerians everywhere? Because it touches on three big issues: justice, peace, and national unity. Every time this trial makes headlines, it stirs feelings about fairness, about how the government handles dissent, and about whether people still trust the system. Kanu's movement came from real frustrations. Many people in the Southeast have said for years that they feel left out of national decisions, that development is slow, that their voices aren't heard. Kanu gave those frustrations a loud voice. Whether people agree or not with how he expressed it, the fact remains that millions listened. And that's why this case continues to shape public conversation in Nigeria today. Now, the government has to walk a very fine line. On one hand, they must protect the country's unity and law and order. On the other hand, they must also respect human rights, court processes, and freedom of expression. When either side feels that the balance has been lost, things like this clash happen. And my people, that's why everyone must stay calm. There's no winner when things turn violent. Security agents have a duty to maintain peace, yes, but also the people have a duty to keep protests peaceful. When both sides stay calm, justice can actually run its course without fear or bias. Now, I'll pause here for a moment. This is already getting intense and there's a lot more to explain, including what could happen next, what to expect from the November 20th judgment, and how both sides might react afterward.